and welcome to Oh When the Town, and here's what's coming up today. Humiliation at Kenilworth Road as Reading stick 5 past Luton.
We thought the game away was bad when we lost 3-0. Well, I mean, that went down as probably like our worst performance away from home, didn't it, really?
We discuss Matty Pearson and how bad his performance was against Reading.
You know, pointless balls, long balls down the wing. Sometimes as a fullback you play the channels, right? And you want your forwards to run onto them or your midfielders to run onto them. So sometimes those pointless balls are what you've been told to do.
And we're also just going to take a look at some more comments online that we find and plenty more. And this afternoon I'm joined by Tara and Dave as always. 5-0 Reading home defeat. Let's get straight into it. It was unexpected after the last 2 weeks, right? Or the last two games,
unexpected and unacceptable as well. Shocker, mate. Absolute shocker. Dreadful, wasn't it?
I think because we played so well, we defended so well against Leeds, you couldn't have written that we were going to lose in the way that we lost today. Absolute disappointing shambles, really.
We were full of confidence going into it, really,
of course.
It's just a massive
And I think disappointment is from the moment of kick-off, really. We just weren't at the races, were we? I mean, we had that chance in Collins' chance that we should have scored, but we could have been one down before that.
Well,
it was just a day to forget. It was a day to forget. Heated moments from me as well. I just wanted to. I was fuming. I was so angry at one stage.
We'll forget about it, shall we?
Let's get some 3-word reviews. This is what you guys said about the Reading game in 3 words. So Anthony Reid says 3 steps back. Barney says embarrassing, disgraceful performance. Callum says worst home performance. David says spineless, embarrassing, gutting. Scott Wilson says League One bound. Sarah says record goal difference. And it's this one from Matt the Hatter says never give up. You could look at the positives of. There's no positives from today realistically, apart from other results didn't go badly for us. But you're looking at the games going forward now. Tuesday is a cup final for both teams. If whoever loses Tuesday is down.
I agree.
You'd think so, yeah. You would think so. Well, unless everyone proves the book he's wrong and we'll both stay out, which is highly unlikely. But yeah, it was utter shite.
You try any game when we play badly. You try and get something out of it. You try and pick out that player that stood out, or you pick out that moment that was really, really good. And I can't think of one.
There weren't any,
I don't think there's one player I can say stood out today. Not one. I don't think there was any passion or pace in the team, and I'm just gutted. I'm gutted because if you compare that performance to the Leeds game, where we thought everybody was running their nuts off basically to try and get in there and keep the result, today was totally lacklustre and opposite. I mean, no disrespect to Reading, but they're not the best team in the league, are they? Let's be fair.
I mean, we were sitting here coming into the game today thinking we can get 3 points from this, surely at home. I mean, not it really matters anymore with home form and whatever, because let's face it, that's all out the window now. But look, come on, to lose 5-0 to Reading.
5-0 is
at home.
At home, yeah.
Fuck me, we thought the game away was bad when we lost 3-0.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that went down as probably like our worst performance away from home, didn't it? Really.
That and Brentford.
Well, and Brentford.
But we were woeful at Reading, but we're even worse at home.
We were worse today.
Yeah,
absolutely. Don't get me wrong, we didn't create nothing at Reading, but do you know what? All right, the only thing is for me is maybe earlier in the game, I feel like Collins should have put that away. He's at the bar, mate. How was he missed from there? Okay, happens. And then 2 minutes later, was it Pearson or whatever it was? Pearson gets brought down. For me, it's a penalty. It looked like a penalty. I've seen it 3 times.
It's like Tuesday night early on when McManaman could have had a penalty at Leeds, and it's just like we're not getting them.
Yeah. To be honest,
decisions,
I didn't feel like McManaman. I feel like he was trying to be clever there. Yeah. He just got his body in front. But today, for me, I saw the pulling of the shirt. Straight away, I'll scream penalty. I don't know, people might have their own opinion, but for me, I feel it's a stable penalty. You think you could go into not into the break, but you can go 2-0 up within sort of 20 odd minutes or whatever. If that, whenever the fucking thing came about, but.
The pen shout straight up the other end goal.
Straight away they scored.
I agree. I think it was the pen, but I think he had a hold of his shirt. I reckon he pulled him back.
Yeah.
You know, again, that dreaded 3-letter VAR would have probably pulled it up.
Yeah, of course.
But it didn't. And then our defending from that situation was woeful. Absolutely woeful.
I really like Anthony Reid's 3-word review of 3 steps back, because you feel like this last week is like that. It's like then we took 2 massive steps forwards. That win at Swansea, huge. A point at Leeds, probably bigger. Yeah. And then you come into this game, and let's say like all the fans are probably full of confidence today after them 2 results, and that's 3 steps back again. And now we got it all to do again.
Don't get it wrong, I'm not going to be negative about it at the moment. Obviously, I know a little hissy fit earlier, I can smash the house up, I'll be honest. But it's, I have to go to the toilet and cool off for 5 minutes, didn't I? But well, that's pretty worse than what you said, Gregory. Than watching Luton again.
Never go and
grow up. But yeah, anyway. But nah, it's disappointing. Do you know what it is? I don't know if it's disappointing or it's the fact of why the hell can't we kill off the shitter teams with all due respect to Reading. That's no respect to Reading. I don't rate them anyway. I'm not going to give them praise, whatever.
No.
We helped them today.
But we didn't.
5-0. Yeah, could have easily more as well.
Why don't we kill off because we just didn't go at them.
And we made mistake after mistake after
Is it the manager's fault for the way he set up the team straight away? Because
there was a few comments today on social media about Nathan Jones' lineup being a bit attacking. Like you look at that, you've got Collins, Cornick, Izzy Brown.
Well, no holding midfield for starters, was there?
No, exactly. And you look at that and you think that's quite an attacking lineup actually. And obviously Ray's injured at the moment, but could we have maybe seen Butterfield in there? Could we have actually seen Bree at right back instead of Pearson at right back?
I get what you're saying, but at the same time though, we saw. The first 15-20 minutes or whatever, I thought we were looking pretty good until we conceded. We did. We did alright for the first 15-20 minutes. We did. Did you not say?
Well,
we had the ball, we were knocking it about and whatever else.
There was no pace. There was no pace in the game at all.
I thought we would try and dictate the tempo of the game, try and bring it to our advantage, but we didn't do that in the end.
The alarm bells, though, in that first 15 minutes was Reading got in one time down that left-hand side, and then they got in again, which was the one that was cleared off the line. Yeah, and you just think, like, they're the alarm bells of, look how easy it is for them to get through us. And it looked like that for the rest of the game, that they could score every attack if they wanted.
At that point, you'd expect your manager to see that too. If we could see it, you'd expect him to go, let's make a change, or at least change the formation on the pitch, and maybe not the players, but the formation a bit.
I think things, they should have been changed maybe in the first 35 minutes. For me, I don't want to keep going on at him, but Pearson, mate, honestly, Pearson for me today was absolutely dreadful. He looked like a player from way, way down. He really did today. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I mean, Slugar, it's a shame he didn't really help himself or come himself in glory today, did he, really? But he's another one, been having good games. You think, we're really excited to see it now. You think, go on, keep it up, keep it going. We just can't do it. I mean, mistake. Like I said, mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. I'll say it 5 times because they're all mistakes.
Producer Jacob put on the podcast last week, what has Slugar got to do to redeem himself? And we've all sat there last week, haven't we? And we've said... you said he needs to pull off a few worldy saves and save a penalty and whatever. But you've said basically he needs to do these basics right.
Consistency as
well. And that consistency, it was a poor error for Reading's second goal today. But I think you look at that and the chance to redeem that error from Pearson was there. I don't know what he was thinking with that clearance.
In his head sometimes, I just question his brain. I mean, you can tell he's got the physical presence. I'm questioning his passing, but we always question that.
Look, you're blaming 2 players for 2 of the goals, right? But the first goal was a dreadful mistake by Pelly on the edge of the area, giving the ball away too easily.
Dave, I'm not saying that. They're all poor. They were all poor.
They were all poor. And Slugar made 1 error, but he didn't make errors for all 4 of the other 4 goals. I mean, his defence let him down.
I just think with that second goal, I don't want to sit there and blame Pearson for it. Obviously, the clearance could have been better, but I don't think it's just so disappointing that it's like we said, in times where it's a big game like this, we need to call for a bit of composure and a bit of calmness on the ball in that situation, because it was like a panic, weren't it?
Just stand up and be counted. Just stand up and be counted. And the thing is, some players, we question, right? You want to see a bit of personality from some people. Like today, from Pearson, obviously, like I said, I'm not going to keep digging, but an example, like I said, because anyone I can think of at the moment, because I really got fucking irate with him today. But just show a bit of character. Just take control, take lead. But I'm not going to lie, even Bradley today weren't on it. he was pretty fucking woeful. I mean, like I said,
mate, they all were
terrible. Yeah,
they all were.
You couldn't pick a.
No, of course
you couldn't pick one player out and say man of the match for Luton.
No,
Not one.
None of them.
Not one. And the disappointing thing is, even at 2-0, you still thought we could get back in. Even at 3-0, I thought if we get a goal, we could get back in.
Really?
Yeah, I did, because you
three?
get 3.
I was still living like that, Dave. I was.
Because we all want them to win. But then it was never coming. It was just never coming.
For me, the third was the killer blow. You think, when we're playing in the maybe if we're in League One, maybe. But I think when you're in the Championship, and I know we just banged on about Reading having a bang average team for a mid-table team or whatever, but they've still got talent in their squad, like Swift in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, what's the difference between being 3-0 behind? 3-1 behind or 2-0 behind. There is no difference. If you get the goal,
I get
goal,
that.
It
but I think as a
you.
team like Reading, when they're 3-0 up, they'll be professional enough to keep that tight. If we really start to threaten,
well, they're more experienced, aren't they?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So I think it's tougher.
Well. Yeah.
It's tougher in this league to do that with our squad.
I just wanted to see a bit more courage, a bit more guts about people, and I was let down. Well, not me personally, I mean, the whole team was let down by everyone, every player. You can look at someone and go, take control. Even the whatever fucking. I'm not going to go into it, but at the end of the day, it was disappointing because we got absolutely trounced. As soon as we conceded that first goal, you knew it was going to come. I said to you at half time, what did I say to you at half time when we were 3-0 down? Remember what I said?
No, I don't remember. What did you say?
I said 7-0 inbound.
7-0.
Yeah, you did say that. Yeah, you did say that.
And I said we're definitely going to concede at least 5. I said we're lucky to concede less than 7.
It's disappointing that second goal came so quickly after that first as well, wasn't it? Because I don't know how. From what I remember, I don't know how we even managed to lose the ball from kick-off. Like, how do we do that? How do we kick off?
Was it literally been like 2 minutes, wasn't it, if that?
It was 17-18, the minutes of the goals.
Oh, well, there you go.
And you just think, how is that possible for us to kick off and then make 2 errors like that? Reading must have just been loving life.
Yeah. Well, they were laughing, weren't they? I mean, they didn't even celebrate properly because they was laughing at us.
It's worse when you work with a Reading fan, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So,
getting your message through saying, ha ha ha
ha. You know what to do, didn't you?
Not having it, mate. Not having it.
Shocker, mate. But no, it's like I said, it's one of them days. Do you know what? Like I said, first, was it Reading's biggest win or something away from home in 30 odd years? Oh, for fuck's sake. Why is it always us that are breaking fucking records for other teams?
And our worst home performance since that 5-0 against Sunderland.
Come on, man.
I think when you start the game as we did, at the beginning, it was okay-ish. You said I don't think our pace was good enough, but as soon as the goal went in, we just crumbled.
And we just
yeah, but it didn't feel like we were shutting them down quick enough. It didn't feel like we were creating the opportunities quick enough.
Every time we lost the ball, we were getting hurt. We were getting hit.
They looked tired, didn't they, today? Yeah. I know Nathan Jones said that after the game.
I don't buy into that bullshit. I'm sorry.
What, they're looking tired?
I'm not buying into that.
If they look tired, how much tired are they going to be next?
Reading.
Well, exactly.
Reading are tired, and obviously they play the same amount of games as us.
We're playing Tuesday, Friday next week. How tired are they going to be on Friday? It's ridiculous.
Because the point is, right, you've got a squad. If you want to sit there and they look tired and whatever else, blah 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 blah.
Fuming.
I mean, but nah. But it's one of them ones where, all right, if they look tired, all the other teams are going to be tired. And if you're tired, rotate your squad. That's what it's there for. We know we've got to rotate. We'd rather rotate it and get a fucking performance, because I'm not sitting there watching that every fucking week. Especially after a Tuesday, Saturday. I'm not watching that shite. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Nathan Joe said it was understandable. I've never understood why a professional athlete can't play 2 games a week.
Yeah.
I
play Saturday, Sunday.
I think from working in industry, you can understand more as you just how the fatigue works and how performance levels need to be up to 100%.
Yeah.
Every game. I'd say Luton's performance levels today weren't 100%. But then it's like, but then I do look at what you said and think, well, Reading surely.
Mate,
Reading plays
the same thing for both teams. I don't buy into that crap. If one team's tired and the other's not, then what are you doing wrong? Then if you're so tired, what are you doing wrong?
There's no excuse. There is no excuse for that performance. No excuse at all.
No.
Sorry, Dave.
Imagine if we'd have been at the game today. Imagine at the end of that game. Imagine the crap that Nathan Jones would have got. Imagine the boos the team would have got.
Imagine the boos after that. What, third went in before half time? There would have been boos after that.
Yeah, half time off.
Maybe even after the second. And
it's just frustrating. And the frustrating thing is, it's come off the back of 2 really good performances.
Do you know what did make me laugh though today? bit of light-hearted humour, was the guy tweeted out today saying he saw 4 cardboard cutouts get up and leave half time. Disgraceful. Not true fans. Love it.
Jesus, how that happened?
So really, realistically, that first half write-off, second half write-off, but I know it's all ifs and buts, and this was said in Nathan Jones' interview, Colo's header in that first minute, it could be a completely different game, couldn't it? And
I was celebrating the goal.
But I know how many times we said this on the podcast this season. Could that just be the story of our season? Is like, it's literally inches from changing the game, and we've had that so many times.
But this is the thing, as also, right? If you want your player, I'm not saying I love James Collins, don't you? Right? I absolutely love him. Sorry, not I can't speak properly. Yeah, I absolutely love the guy, but you've got to be burying those. If you want to, class yourself as a championship player, don't get me wrong.
Well, he wants to be an international striker, doesn't he?
Well, this is it. You've got to put in chances. Don't get me wrong. I know top players they miss those chances on occasions, but he's missed a few this season. I can go back to Derby away. He missed an absolute.
It's unfortunate, wasn't it? It was like every other week he'd score that, and it's just unfortunate.
Maybe it's just I don't know. I'm not gonna make excuses, but just overall form. Not like I said, if you don't pinpoint on individual performance, but
you can pinpoint so many different individual performances today.
Yeah.
Where was Izzy Brown today?
He was non-existent. The guy shouldn't. Well, I don't think he could turn up, did he?
Not at all. Not at all. Pelly. No, not great.
He couldn't even turn up for his fucking... No, actually, I'm not going that. But yeah.
But it's true. So we're focusing on one player making that miss. And
even though Carter Vickers today weren't great, like you said earlier, Bradley weren't great. Potts... It's hard. We can just go through the whole team. And literally, you could probably say...
Everybody's sitting at home pulling their hair out, right?
Cornick's cross for Colo's header on the bar was probably the best thing that happened all game.
How many times do we sit there and go, oh, well, not me personally, because I love the guy, but like I said, Lightning Legs, love him, mate. But... the guy can always do wrong with his final product for everyone. Do you know what I'm saying?
Cornick,
yeah. But today, that pinpoint pass, or that cross, to Colo, and he's got to score. But this is the difference. Someone else gets something right, like Cornick turns it around, and he turns on a star and does something nice like that.
What was our shots on target again?
0.
It's a myth because we did have Potts.
We think 1, don't we?
Okay, maybe 1 then.
But
I follow said 0. But so don't believe anything I follow today, because they said Bree was up front on Tuesday night or something, didn't they? So,
but even if you're at home performance, 0 attempts according to that, or maybe 1, is outrageous.
Shocker, isn't it?
And that just goes to prove in this scenario that we're in with this COVID thing, and no supporters there, home advantage does not exist. It does not exist. It doesn't matter where you play. We could play in the park down the road.
I just think we've been poor at home all season, fans or no fans, to be honest. We have been, haven't we? Because today would have been another performance like that Birmingham home game. Mm-hmm. Well, it was worse. And that whole home game where you turn up thinking, Luton Town, Kenilworth Road, tight ground, and just get absolutely rolled over.
Yeah. No,
it's just a shame. It's just a shame. And we said this. I said this in the podcast last week after that Swansea result. Yeah. But I said I expected us to have more wins like that Swansea win.
Mm-hmm. Ground out results, yeah.
I just expected, I guess, us to be a bit harder to beat at home. Don't mind losing at home.
You
be
take
harder to beat.
Consideration. I know, it's a different league. League One's it's not quite a championship, obviously, but.
Do you know what though? I mean, I don't want to. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go on, crack on.
Just sitting here thinking, if there's any positive spin I can get out of this, because I normally try. Right? But if you took that result, the last 3 results, and said we lost at Leeds, we drew at Swansea, and we beat Reading at home, you'd have been happy with that. Yeah. You'd have been happy with that. 100% would have been happy. The same amount of points over 3 games, just in a different way. If we'd have got tanked at Leeds, drew at Swansea, and won today, we'd have been happy. The fact is, we won at Swansea, drew at Leeds, and then got given hope because we thought we were better than we actually were. Maybe.
I think you've summed that up pretty well, to me. I've just gone, actually, that's a good point.
So that's the only. Thanks very much. But it's the only positive spin you can put on it. That's the only positive spin you got on. We never expected to get nothing out of Leeds. Whatever we got out of Leeds was a bonus, I thought.
Yeah, 100%.
So if they'd have done us 5-0, you'd have gone, expected that.
Leeds. Yeah.
Had we drew at Swansea, we'd go, well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And then we win at home.
Well,
so
any point away from home really is a good point. You just look at it that
way. Of course.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's the only positive spin I can put on today. And I'm trying to be Mr. Positive.
So let's go for positives. I'm going to say that's your positive spin on it. Okay. What's your positive spin? Because I know what mine is.
What, on the positive spin on today as a game?
Yeah, you probably got nothing, mate, because you were so negative earlier. I had to fucking tell you to calm down at one point.
The positive thing, I guess you could say from today, is that we're still not officially relegated. That's probably the only positive.
Mate, come on. Yeah.
Because then there's going to be a tiny chance. I saw someone saying there's a big chance. I wouldn't say there's a big chance at all. I think there's a very slim chance we can still get out of it. But we're now in that territory where another performance like today, on Tuesday or Friday, that's it. We're done. We've got to win. What, we got 5 left?
Yeah.
We got to win 3 of them and draw 1 at least.
4 of them are massive.
I don't think we can lose again. I don't think we can lose again.
I think we could afford to lose 1 more.
But as long as you win the next 4, you have to win the next 4.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then if you want to lose, if you say you can lose 1, you need to win 4. You need to win 4 then out of 5. And like I said, the positive for me was you made a cracking steak sandwich. Absolutely.
Was a banging steak sandwich, to be fair.
Class.
Maybe we should start a Owen the Town steak sandwich club at Kenilworth Road on the weekend.
I'll tell you what, mate, you could easily go and like...
How much could I sell it for? A few quid?
A few quid? No, mate, you're talking like £5-6 for that.
It'd be worth it, honestly.
And I didn't smash your house up as well. So, thank you very much for putting up my shit earlier.
It's quite lucky because we've been thinking about trying to start a live matchday podcast. And we're kind of like thinking about how we could make this work. You wouldn't have wanted to see it today. You would have seen Vitaro getting angry, me getting in a hissy fit and storming out to another room.
And me celebrate Collins hitting the crossbar, thinking it got in.
But in all fairness, though, you say celebrating it, he celebrated it for about 35 seconds at least.
Yeah. And then basically they scored, didn't they?
When everyone's looking at him, Dave, mate, he's fucking great at it. And you're like, no, Dave. I know, get out, come off the back of the net. Dave, what are you talking about? He's hit the crossbar. Yeah, now he has it. He can't miss from there.
That's true.
He did.
That's true. That is totally true.
I love it.
Totally true.
It was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that.
Well, I wanted to maybe just talk 5 more minutes about Matty Pearson today. Because we do a player focus normally every week. I know we've kind of touched on him already.
Yeah, I feel we get like bullying him a little bit now.
I know. I don't want it to be like one of them things where fans listen to this and they go, "Oh, all you did was just be negative about Pearson when the whole team was awful." But we do. We focus on players every week, and I wanted to focus on Pearson because you see him in the starting. You see him in that starting 11 though, and you see him alongside Carter Vickers and Sonny Bradley. You think, "Okay, that's going to be Pearson right back." I don't rate Pearson as a right back. I don't think he should be playing there.
Do you know what? The thing is weird because I actually would rather him out wide rather than
in the middle
centre back because I think I don't trust him as much to play in the centre.
Do you not think though when you're playing putting a centre back into right back that your positioning then changes a lot?
Though. Played for Atkinson quite a bit there. Played left back and right back quite a few times for Atkinson. Sorry, did it right. But like I said, it's a lower level. So, but you say like let's play a focus on Pearson. Yeah, he. I keep going back to that goal where Sluga cocked it up and then what the fuck was he doing, Pearson?
He just swung his foot, didn't he?
I think
that's normally either hoof it up the pitch or into the stand.
It was his left foot as well, wasn't it?
It was just a panic, like I said earlier. It was just like he could have taken it down and dribbled out. That's
but what
does that come down to? Awareness? Does that come down to composure, to communication from teammates?
That comes down to not being at the level of a championship player. I'm sorry, that's really what I believe. That's what it comes down to. He's not a championship player because he does it all the time. You're consistently doing that. He done it a few times last season as well. I still think don't get it wrong, I still think he's a decent enough player, but he's not a starting championship right back or centre back for me.
His performances hasn't warranted.
No, of course.
The respect, I suppose, that Nathan's given him, putting him in the team in that position. But the other suggestions is how do you replace that? How do you replace where he is? Who do you replace him with?
Like you say, I wouldn't want to get rid of Pearson. I'd like to have him in around the squad. I think he's a good guy. Like he is. But
I just feel he's not been up to par when he's been on the pitch, and today he was. And mate, everyone was awful today. So he didn't even stand out as being awful, but he made some errors, and one of them was really costly.
Of course, it was crucial, wasn't it?
So, has he got it in him to be better? Probably. Can he be better with us if we go down? Possibly.
If we go down, yeah, of course.
We did have some fan engagement on this as well about what Pearson's bringing to the team. Nick says he's not technically good enough to play right back. He's a good old-fashioned no-nonsense centre-half.
He probably
yeah. Sometimes when he's centre half, he wins the ball well with his head. He's big and he really. He's sort of like strong in that position. I sort of agree with that.
Solid, he is solid. He's
solid.
mate,
Solid.
built,
That's a good word. Yeah,
built. He's a very. You can tell he's an old-fashioned centre half, but like I said, I don't at the moment. Currently, I don't trust him. The form he's in and whatever, I don't trust him to go centre back either.
The problem with old-fashioned centre halves these days is that if they barely touch a player, it's a foul. You know, back in the day when an old-fashioned centre half hit that ball and took you through as well, you know what? It was brilliant. Now you can't, touch anything. Anybody. So that's the problem. And
Dwayne says last season he brought stability, calm head and solid defending. This season, well, he's not just been quite the same. Players brought into the club to challenge and consolidate League One found themselves in the league above a year or two ahead of schedule. They've been found out and it happens.
A year or two ahead of schedule, in what sense?
Well, we jumped 2 leagues, didn't we? We basically went. We wasn't expecting to get promoted last season, and we did exceptionally well. And I sort of agree with that remark because we didn't have time to rebuild the team for the championship. We just took what we got.
And we've got Rince as well for 3 of our key players. Well, I say Rince, 2 of them, but obviously McCormack down.
And we didn't reinvest. We didn't reinvest enough, but we don't have that money to reinvest. So
it's a tough job, especially when players go as well, and there's such short amount of space time to build up for the new season as well, and you've got to get someone.
You could argue when Nathan Jones was first here, his big thing is we're recruiting for the championship, we're recruiting for the next division.
Yeah, of course.
But
you can't quite do that in the championship now, though, can you?
No, but that's what he was saying. We're recruiting ahead, we're recruiting for that. But I sort of agree with Dwayne, and I would say that although I don't regret winning the league, I don't regret being promoted. We have sort of been found out in a lot of games this season.
LTFC News says Pearson, he does love a pointless long ball down the wing to no one. To be fair, he's having a shocker today. Ben replies to that saying he's never a fullback either. He does like to head a ball in no particular direction, and he does do a lot of pointless balls down the wing. But it's one of them things, isn't it, with Pearson, like we've said about the quality in the championship. Maybe with his feet he's not the best, but it's like I've said before, Pearson as like a centre half.
It's called football as well. That's a shame. Really.
I know, mate. It is, but as a centre half, if you banking on like him winning headers and stuff, I'm a bit more confident.
Pointless balls, long balls down the wing. Sometimes as a fullback, you play the channels, right, and you want your forwards to run onto them or your midfielders to run onto them. So sometimes those pointless balls are what you've been told to do. Use it, clear it down the channels. So that's what I would say about that.
His pass accuracy is not great though. But either way, I don't want to bully Pearson anymore. Let's just hope it changes for the next game. So let's talk about.
Can I just say one thing quickly before you go on to move on to the next bit? Let's say about defence sometimes, right? But I'm a massive believer of. You can disagree, agree, whatever. I don't care. But with defenders, I feel like they get so short sometimes with the midfield. If you haven't got a midfield in front of you protecting you and doing a job, but let's face it, we've got players in there that are supposed to be workers, right? And they don't do enough work for me. You know what I'm talking about. There's a couple in there. you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so basically you're saying...
Maybe it's because we... No, but listen, right, I'm not digging, but maybe it's because we haven't got the balance in the midfield. But
Potentially.
But this is what I believe. We haven't got the balance in the team. I look at the team and I struggle sometimes to think, if you can change your squad every single week and get certain players in there, then you don't really trust a certain cut of players to do a job every week. Obviously, I know there's obviously like Pelly plays every week. Maybe. For me, he plays in the wrong position.
I understand
I'm not a manager.
What you're saying, but don't you think if you're saying that everyone in the team's got responsibility, centre halves have a responsibility to run with markers, to run with players, fullbacks have that responsibility.
Yeah. No, I get
that first goal, is played around Carvick and Bradley too easily.
Which one was the first one? Sorry. I can't fucking think now.
Yeah, the first one was played around him too easily, absolutely too easily.
It was Potts and Carter Vickers. Yeah. It was literally a through ball past Carter Vickers,
through
ball past the other one in the bottom corner.
But it was unnecessary giving the ball away in the first instance by one of our midfielders.
It probably was, but I'm saying everyone's got the responsibility.
Yeah, of course.
And you can't. And I know we do need that defensive balance in the midfield, but I don't think you can look at the defence and go, oh well, that goal was conceded because of the midfield. Sometimes I think you've got to say that conceded. Because it was awful defending.
Yes.
And the same with the second one as well.
Which one are you talking about? Because all I can think about now is about Elliot Lee when he shot on the stretch, when Elliot Lee's back.
That's the third one. That's bad as well.
Oh, fuck was that goal, mate? Seriously, what the fuck was that?
Either way, I did want to move on.
That's shit, sorry.
It was bad. It's a bad day, weather. It's a bad day. So we're moving on to Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday is probably one of the biggest games then, isn't it? So
massive. You have to win.
We have to win. Absolutely have to win. And if we don't win, then we might as well start planning for next season.
On our podcast socials, we've been saying must win since January. I think we put one out when we played Birmingham, saying it's today a must win. But we're at a stage now where these are must wins.
If we lose on Tuesday,
we're gone.
I'm going to stop watching Luton. I'm going to take up tango class or something, or fucking some kind of dance, because I'm not. I need to get fit, man. My blood pressure's going through the fucking roof, David. You didn't. Come on, man.
If you take up,
yours.
Can I just say, if you take up tango classes, I'm coming. No, I'm going to come and film it and put it up online. It's a definite must win, and for Barnsley too, it's a definite must win for them. Because
that's the thing, a draw's not good enough for either side on Tuesday.
No, draws are not good enough.
And that's the kind of game we're playing, that draw as well. This is the thing, is
I genuinely think loser relegated.
Yeah.
100%.
Winner, small chance of staying up.
Mm-hmm. You look at Barnsley's remaining fixtures compared to ours, and we've got a much kinder running than them. I think they've got to play the top 3 or top 4 or something.
You say much kind of running, but I don't believe in it.
Doesn't matter anymore.
Look at today.
Doesn't matter.
Look at today.
Yeah.
Haven't they got to play Brentford?
They've got to play Brentford, they've got to play Leeds, and they've got to play Forest.
Right. So, but they're not the issue, are they? The issue are the teams above us as well. Above
Issue's
them.
us.
Yeah. But if
we've just got to do our business.
If we're winning and everybody above us wins, don't matter that we're going down, aren't we? We've got some. Well, Tuesday night is 100% must win, and then Friday. We could be relegated by Friday.
Yeah, it could happen, couldn't it? The next time we do a podcast, we could be going back to League One. I don't want to be that negative. Positives. If we can take some positives.
I'm crying right now. You look depressing the shit out of me.
Well, the positives might be we might get back in the ground at some point. That'll be good.
Do you mind if you lot carry on? I might go for a smoke quickly because this is depressing me. I'm actually getting emotional. I can't deal with this. I don't want to go down. We've worked so hard to get to the challenge. I don't want to go down. No one wants to go down. It's not just me.
How are we going to perform differently on Tuesday? Because the players got to be up for it.
We're going to perform by winning.
But Tara, they've got to come out and be up for it straight away. They've got to take the game to them straight away. They've got to be full on in their faces straight away. Put in a couple of really tough challenges straight away. Get on the ball. Get quick. Get the ball across the goal.
Do you reckon that's the best way to approach that this week? Because for me, I think you need to start off that game and just be defensively solid. I think
we need to control the game from early on. We need to
control it. I like that.
Just control it.
Because the last thing you don't want to do on Tuesday is it kick off and go full on attack mode and get done on the counter and be 1-0 down after 10 minutes. You don't want that on Tuesday.
But I'd rather be 1-0 up after 10 minutes.
Yeah, but is that a risk you want to take?
I don't trust Luton. I do not trust Luton going to go up early on and fucking stack.
I would like to see it a bit more like Tuesday, that Leeds game. Be defensively solid and work your way into that game.
I think we need to take the game on to them. I think we have to do it.
I think we've got more quality than
them. And do you know what? I think we probably have more opportunity to do it because Barnsley will know they can't lose.
Yeah.
And they will know that they have to score. Mm-hmm. So it might be quite an exciting end-to-end game.
I don't want this. I don't want to sit there.
I might have to start drinking more.
Yeah. What, tango?
No, it's a tough one. I generally want. I suppose what I'm trying to say is I want to see that fight from the team, and we didn't see any fight from the team today.
Don't you say about fight?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Really, I'm 100% with them because the thing is, we don't show enough, especially today. Where the fuck are the tackles going in? Where are the hard tackles?
There was none.
Just say, I don't care if we get a couple of yellows. Fucking take them out, have them, just do them.
There was none.
Just do them.
And I think it's so disappointing. So I want them to take the game. I want them to take the fight to the game. That's what I want. So, I know what you just said about correcting what I just said, but there was no fight, and we want that fight back.
Yeah.
Just imagine again Tuesday night under the lights, full house. We would be screaming out loud for that team to play for us.
I'll get fired already. I'm sitting there just picking the seat. I'm like, let's get on it. Let's get on it.
So, it's going to be a nervous game, isn't it? It's going to be a tough game. I think it's like you said, both teams are fighting now. This is it. Our season has come down to Tuesday night.
You think so?
Because if we lose Tuesday night and still somehow stay up, I will get a tattoo of your face on my bum.
Hello! You got a long, you got a camera.
Can I just say at this point, I'd rather us win. Tuesday night.
No, I'm not even going to try and top you there. I got to say, if we win.
So.
No. I'll tell you what. If we stay up this season, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter about the result on Tuesday. We stay up this season. I'll get something when this gets complete eventually. I'll get something with your
What's
face
this?
in it. You know what it is, mate.
What, your tattoo on your arm?
Yes.
Okay. So when your tattoo on your arm gets completed?
Yeah, I'll get something in there representing us and Luton.
Alright.
Even if we get cut little.
And please, Luton Town, please, if we do win on Tuesday night, please don't follow up that with the same performance as today.
Yeah.
On the Friday.
We're screwed.
We're done. Sky.
We're screwed. Going down.
No, shut up.
No. There's still hope. Look, I've been at the club long enough to know that there's still a little bit of hope, but it's gradually going out that window.
So you've seen a few things, haven't you, Dave?
Yeah, sadly, age is wonderful sometimes.
Actually, no, more now, isn't it? More than 30 years, Christ.
Yeah, don't even go there. Don't even go there.
Sorry, yeah.
Well, that's all we've got time for today. Hope that you can enjoy your weekend, even after that. Get on to Tuesday, 6 o'clock kickoff. Biggest game for a while. So, yeah, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for listening. You can get us on YouTube nowadays. Go search Oh When the Town Podcast. You can get us on iTunes, by the way. If you're on YouTube and you think, I'd like to take this in my car, get us on the iTunes app on the podcast. And whack us on in your car. Like us, subscribe, everything. Yeah. Socials Oh When the Town. And we shall maybe see you next week, depending on what division we're going to be in. Have a good one.
Someone choose the cheek.